Guegano Agerono, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Stock Sr., and we have
Christine Taylor.
And Ross Montour.
And we're going to cover the year in review,
The year in
2010.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 2010 is over.
Mm-hmm.
What a year.
Yeah.
We had a lot of positive things and a lot of not so positive.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Controversial.
Controversy.
We had
Our
controversy. We had
usual share.
politics. We had
Politics, yeah.
sports. We had, achievements. We had a lot of things going on. We also had the end of Sawana Orewake, which was the news program that ended in April,
And this show started.
and this show started.
yeah, that was back in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, early summer. We started, and so we've been going strong since then.
So Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year
Year.
to
I hope
everybody.
you had a good holiday and everyone else. If you haven't, maybe 2011 will be better.
It always will be. Try to be positive. I'm always trying to focus on the positive.
Yeah, it's you have to have some of that in your life. You can't always have negativity. You know what? Even though a lot of things we cover, I guess, are negative or controversial. When I leave, I don't let this thing obsess me.
No.
I do a show and I talk about the current events and what's happening. But when I go home, you know what?
But it's a byproduct a lot of
Yeah.
times of when you're in media, and if you're reporting on news in particular, unfortunately, a lot of it is not the most uplifting.
Yeah.
And I think that with this type of format that we can always kind of try to turn it to make it, help look for solutions as opposed to just reporting specifically on, on the
Yeah.
negative side.
And
of
controversy
things.
sells.
Well,
Well,
I'm going
it
to
spurs
vary a
discussion.
little bit
Yeah.
in terms of that. And one of the things is, yes, you know what? Anytime you have things, you have a political life going on around you, you have a community life going on around you, things happening in the community that people want to see change about. You have discussion, and in that discussion, there's dissent, there's debate, and hopefully it's passionate too. I think that's part of the process of how you achieve some level of solution, consensus, whatever. Is that people really have? Otherwise, it's just saying, well. The complaint comes up about complacency, So
Apathy.
to me, there's nothing wrong and there's nothing negative about discussing those things and raising questions and so on.
No, see, the thing is, and I think traditionally speaking, we always had those people in, and we always valued in our own democracy type of thing, in our own governance, say, traditionally speaking, that those people who bring up all these, what we would call like negative things, or spurring the discussion, the debate, and then to further come out, and yeah, they might sound like negative Nellies at times, but that always brings up questions about decisions that are being made. So when like a decision comes up, this is something that we have to decide on, and these people are bringing up these questions, or they're questioning the decision that's being made, that, like you said, spurs discussion, and then things can be changed and compromised so that, once the decision is made, it might take a lot longer to get to that decision, but all those negative things are taken care of. So that, like, the decision is always better when you have the negative parts taken care of. And who brings out the negative parts? Those people that have those questions. And being able to discuss those things.
So with that in mind,
Yes, like shut
we're,
up, okay?
we're going to be covering some of the highlights.
Right.
Nothing is in particular order, so we're not going by month. We don't have a top 10. We don't have a big list like that, but we did have some areas and items that we wanted to discuss, and we'll do that throughout the show. So it won't all be controversial, or but
too much of a downer kind of.
Yeah, but it's going to be
Yeah.
both, and then we're going to mix it up, and so even though we're covering it, we're not covering it by the month or how it happened. We're just looking at some of the things that we see, not everybody, but we see as stories that happened out throughout the year,
Right.
and we're going to cover that.
Right. So just recently, there was the whole Brian Goodley fundraiser with the Boston Bruins thing that came up, along with and the K103. There was a controversy, debate, and whatnot, and I don't know, like in terms of my opinion, because I still work at K103 as well, but I'm not really in like there every day, and I'm not privy to a lot of what's going on.
But there was a fundraiser with the Boston Bruins alumni, and there was 2 charities that were, or
There was actually 3.
2 was 3. Sorry,
Three, yeah,
that
three.
were designated for the money
To be recipients.
to be recipients. The radio station was one of them, but I guess from that point to now, there's always been, I guess, a debate or a discussion as to what was it designated for. Brian saying that it was specifically for the building fund. They're saying that it wasn't specifically for the building fund, and Brian saying that they were supposed to match the amount of money. They're saying that wasn't part of it.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean, technically, the matching thing didn't come up until later in terms of, well, if you were going to receive it, then match it. The point being is that there was never, for his satisfaction, an accounting of whatever happened to the building fund dollars. That the understanding was in his mind that this was for a building fund. And of course, that whole debate is all after the fact in terms of emails and so on and so forth.
And we don't want to rehash it. We don't want to rehash the whole situation. It's been, I guess, in the news throughout almost the whole year, and it just recently. I'm not sure if it was exactly today, but could have been yesterday.
My understanding is over the weekend the board of K103 met, and they voted 6-1 is my understanding. So that's unofficial at this point. We'll know by the time this program airs, because my understanding is there's going to be something in the Eastern Door today. This will be today's edition by the time we get there. But that they voted 6-1 to reject the check from Brian from the fund for, I think
For
it was
a partial.
It was like about $9,300.
Yes, I don't know. It was
that he
9,000 something.
aligned to their need for a new radio tower.
Yeah. So the money that was, I guess, originally
It was supposed to be like
raised
50 over
51
50
or something.
over $50,000.
So it was raised for the radio station because of, I guess, they couldn't get together and there was no meeting of the minds as far as how the money was going to go or where it was going to go. Brian decided to redistribute the money to other organizations who needed it, and I think there was 9,000. I may be wrong, 9,800 or something that was
About 9,300.
that was designated to the radio station, and then they refused it. Declined it. I spoke to Kenneth earlier, and he said it was because of principle. The money was specifically raised for them, that they felt that they should have gotten everything, and not just that. He said it's sort of like a slap in the face.
Right.
He felt that it was unethical, that they only got that much money, and that if they took it.
Because it was raised in the name of the K103 and certain people, what? Yeah.
But
but and for me, it begs what can they actually afford to?
That's going to come
turn
to
it
the
down.
question is, do you need the money or don't you need the money? If you need money,
Yeah.
then I mean,
Can they afford to be principled like that?
Well, look at. Some people would say, what, take the money, and if you still have a principle, then continue discussing the rest of the money.
Well, the rest of the money is what, given away then, I guess.
It was already given to
Redistributed to other charities.
Other charities. So that's where that went.
And that's my question: is K103 a charity or is K103 a privately held company?
They have a blurry line.
Is it a business? Yeah, and to me, I think a lot of this discussion and a lot of controversy is caused by them not necessarily coming forth and deciding what they are.
Yeah, there's a few other points that that I just wanted to bring out, but we're running a little bit
Yeah.
out of time, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and
Right.
we'll continue with this conversation, and we'll
Yeah.
do that right after these messages.